Now, the next episode of the White Lotus genuinely looks like it's about to cause chaos amongst each and every character that's there, as many of them look like they're about to come together for Greg and Chloe's boat trip, with the only other time we've previously seen these characters on a boat it erupting. I feel like with Saxon trying to hit things off with Chloe and him also trying to get his brother with somebody too, it could all kick off. With Belinda looking like she's gonna have her memory nudge just a little bit more about Greg. This next episode feels like it's gonna give us a lot when it comes to the progression of the story. So with that, let's dive into the trailer for it, break it down, and I'll also give my theories and predictions on what I think will happen next. So let's get into it. Here is the White Lotus Season 3 Episode 4 Trailer Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. So the trailer for the next episode opened up with Belinda speaking with Pawnchai, and she said, "Remember that guy I saw at dinner last night? I know him." Alongside that, there was a scene where she was searching up for somebody called Greg Hunt, and she actually found a picture of him and information about how he used to work for the Bureau of Land Management. As well as that, she also saw an article that was about the events that occurred in Season 2 at the Sicily Hotel where Tanya was killed. This article read that Greg was wanted by the authorities for questioning as Tanya's body had been found and there'd be no sight of him. With Belinda stumbling across the article, it's definitely going to change her mindset about him moving forward, and it might even stop her from approaching him directly again. The only issue now is, Greg knows that she knows who he is because she confronted him at dinner, so he's probably going to want to get to the bottom of why she's digging around. We know that based on the Seasons Ahead trailer, she's going to go to Fabian and tell him that he should call the police due to him being a wanted man, but it's going to fall on deaf ears and he'll do nothing about it. This could ultimately make Belinda want to do so herself, and this could be what could land her in some kind of trouble. We know that Greg is going to dig deeper and start to notice her more because within the trailer he locked eyes with her as she was walking past, and he's going to ask Fabian to ask her over. So she's landed herself in a difficult predicament by approaching him at dinner. We don't know how connected she is to the gunshots that were going off when her son was there during the opening episode. And if Belinda is calling the authorities on Greg, that would give him motive to try and stop her in any way possible, because he doesn't want to go to jail. So the first seed has definitely been planted for a suspect of the shooting, which could be Greg. The next part of the trailer was then focused around the meeting that Getok was having that he had to attend about the robbery that occurred. Judging by the trailer, it doesn't seem like he's going to be in any kind of trouble, but it's more so focused around him being given protection in case it happens again. Fabian said the line, "Your job is to protect the hotel." This was then accompanied with a shot of Getok holding a gun. So it feels like he's been provided that by the hotel as a way of protecting himself and preventing further attacks if things turn violent. What I found interesting was that after Fabian said that line, the next scene was of Valentine, somebody who I feel is a prime suspect for being involved in the robbery. However, this time he was on some kind of party vehicle with Laurie, Jacqueline and Kate, who seem like they're going to be trying to rekindle their youth. I say this because Jacqueline said, "We're not dead yet, we can still be young and hot and fun." This was then when we were introduced to Valentine's two friends. A bit suspicious, no? Two friends were alongside Valentine, and then when looking at the robbery that took place, there was Valentine and two other people. Yep, definitely seems suspicious. Once they were introduced, one of Valentine's friends said, "We know how to make fun," and the girls all then cheered. So it feels like they're going to be spending the day with Valentine and his two friends, and I feel we could see the girls come to regret it because it might all be too much for them. Something that will make Jacqueline give second thoughts to saying that statement again. I'd say that the shot at the end of the trailer with them all running away showed that they definitely weren't enjoying it by the end too. I wonder if the snake choker is going to make some kind of an appearance in this episode. Could one of the girls be given it by one of the guys, and that's how the connection could be made? I guess we'll just have to see. After this, we then cut to the boat, which is where I feel most of the action is going to be taking place, as we have three different sets of characters all aboard the ship. The Ratliffs, Rick and Chelsea, and Greg and Chloe. Saxon was in conversation with Lachlan and he said the line, "These girls are thirsty," when referring to Chelsea and Chloe, and Lachlan, being the sensible one, said, "They all have husbands." This makes me think that Lachlan will probably steer clear of it, but Saxon will look to pursue either Chloe or Chelsea. Judging by the way that he was with Chloe before and the way that she was also being with him, I imagine it will be her. Something that could cause issues for him because he doesn't truly know what Greg is capable of. The next line in the trailer was spoken by Victoria, and she said, "You're lucky to have a father who's an actual Boy Scout." This was met with Timothy looking concerned and frustrated because he knows deep down he's messed up, and he's not the Boy Scout that his family thinks he is because the FBI are trying to get through to his phone, which is at the bottom of Pam's no technology bag. This was then followed by Timothy taking more of those tablets that Victoria gave him in the previous episode, which actually allowed him to feel relaxed. Victoria said that they weren't addictive, however, it seems like for Timothy, they most definitely will be. There was a theory floating around that Victoria could be faking taking the pills and actually be giving Timothy the real ones with the intention of potentially killing him and taking all of the wealth. It's a theory that I hadn't quite thought of, but it could well be plausible. Judging by her dream with the tsunami, she definitely seems unhappy, so I wonder if we're going to see more of that being explored. Timothy is on the decline for sure, and it definitely feels like this medication that he's taking is going to fast-track him towards self-destruct mode. The next part of the trailer then saw Rick and Chelsea together, and he told her that he was going to be going to Bangkok and that he'd be back in a couple of days. This was met by her saying, "Oh my god, you're going to do something stupid." We still don't know why Rick is interested in Jim Hollinger, but judging by his therapy sessions, it means one of two things. The first is that Hollinger was responsible for killing his father, and he wants to get revenge on the person that was responsible for taking away his father that he never got the chance to have a relationship with. Or Jim Hollinger is actually his father, and he could be going there to confront him about maybe why he left his family. Rick doesn't really seem like a person that would take to therapy easily, just by the way that he's acted when he's not been in it. So when he's speaking with Amrita, it could all just be some kind of lie as a way of getting through it. Rick spoke to somebody called Frank in the previous episode, and in the Weeks Ahead trailer, he actually picked up a gun from somebody. So I'm imagining Frank is going to be the person that's going to be giving him that. After this, Timothy was in conversation with Greg, and he said, "Anybody who moves to Thailand is either looking for something or hiding from something." What I loved about this was that it cut to Rick when looking for something was mentioned because of Hollinger. And when it was on the hiding, it was over Greg and Timothy, showing that Greg is there because he's hiding from the Italian authorities and Timothy because of the FBI. I do still feel like it was foolish of Greg to go to another White Lotus hotel. Surely you'd go somewhere that's not connected in some way. This was met with Greg saying, "So what about you?" Because that meant that Timothy would have to fall under one of them, which we obviously know is hiding from something, just like Greg. This is a conversation where I feel we're going to see Greg and Timothy potentially help each other and share each other's problems. More so, Greg potentially helping Timothy with ways that he can avoid the authorities, as that's something that he's been doing for a long while now. This was then followed by a quick succession of shots of Rick sitting on the boat and the three girls running through the town looking like they didn't want to be there. Then, after that, the trailer concluded. As you can see, there are many different directions that the next episode could go in, but I feel it's really going to focus on Greg and Timothy forming some kind of alliance or connection, and Greg looking to get to the bottom of what Belinda knows and if she's going to be some kind of threat to him. I don't think we'll see Rick in Bangkok just yet, as each episode is usually over the course of one day, so I think we'll get that in episode 5 of the show, but him just getting on the plane in this one. So, there you have it, the White Lotus Season 3 Episode 4 trailer explained. If you want to see more videos on the White Lotus Season 3 being broken down, then click on the card in the top corner, they'll be there. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. What do you think will happen next? Share your thoughts in the comments. As always, thanks for tuning into the video and I'll see you in the next one.